I am Jules Jaffe.
Here, Jules, can I top you off on the tea?
Absolutely, please.
We're drinking some peppermint tea in the diatome tea pot, which is a Langton. And this is part of the art installation that I am doing with for Seaport Village for the Ocean Sciences meeting, where we are using art and science to talk about climate change.
So this video is a bit of a behind the scenes to explain how the heck all this came together, why the three of us are sitting together in the Plankton Tea House at Seaport Village. Pretty much.
Exactly, and Jules is here because he produced these beautiful videos, which are microscopic 3D videos of plankton. And these are the glasses that I have outfitted with Ernst Haeckel's plankton. So when you come here, you can be a plankton, and you can watch Jules' beautiful videos.
Hi, so in this behind the scenes look at Ocean Optimism, which is an immersive art experiential installation at Seaport Village, brought to you by the Port of San Diego. I want to give a little bit of context and background to how this all came together. And working together with the Scripps Institute of Oceanography and the Birch Aquarium, we've got the Ocean Sciences meeting coming up in mid-February 2020. Started working about a year ago with Harry Healing and his awesome team about ways to engage folks coming to the conference that week, but in a way that embodies a philosophy that is really, really important, I think, to Birch and Harry and the entire team, which is the theory and the philosophy of ocean optimism. So rather than the glass being half empty, understanding the reality of all these difficult things being triggered by climate change, but understanding that through the lens of how we can create and influence change. And so with that construct in mind, and here we are in Seaport Village, this like meandering kind of network of small buildings and pathways, pedestrian pathways, and a couple of vacancies at the time, we had a chance to creatively program these spaces. And now I'd like to introduce you to Jessica Finley, because when we met, it became incredibly clear that she would be the right brilliant artist and partner in crime to take that loose framework of how to engage the most impressive scientists in the world who will be here for the Ocean Science meeting, as well as the youth of our region, visiting or residents. And that's really important because the undertone of all of this is a commitment to inclusive innovation and understanding that we are not going to solve these issues today. It's the future of our community that's going to solve these issues. It's the young kids out there like you, Cole. And so, Jessica, would you like to please describe, jump in, how you cracked that nut?
Well, I think what's really important here is that the science is a big driving factor behind all the work that I put in for this project. So for this project that we're seeing here, it combines, it talks about plankton and how plankton is relevant to climate change, where you have phytoplankton that creates half the oxygen that we breathe, or a foraminophore, which tells us how long has climate change been a problem for our planet, or how has the climate changed at all, because they're a record of time for us. So, and also communicating. We are a lot of times under analysis paralysis because we're stuck with all of these problems with what we have to deal with, and sometimes maybe we don't do anything. So this cup of tea is just to help us to get a little calmer and have a drink, and we can sit here and we can talk about climate change. And then the cup itself will help you decide where you should go next, because inside we have different plankton. You can come and see that inside my cup I have bacteria, which is for thinking, dinoflagellates, which is for doing or acting, and then also salps, which are connecting. So it's all connecting. So once you're done drinking your tea, wherever your leaves land, after whatever topic that you're thinking about climate change, is the cup is telling you maybe you should think about that some more, maybe you should take an action, or maybe you should connect with other people who are doing something with it already. So to keep you from feeling that you have this analysis paralysis. That's the whole idea. I'm not a tea leaf reader. It's just more of like a fun way to push the conversation further. And then we have these sculptures, which you can see here, which are the giant versions of what's microscopic, which is a foraminophore and a coccolithophore. And then we have the fantastic videos of Jules Jaffe right here, who's made a bunch of amazing microscopic 3D videos of plankton, and they are fantastic, and you get to see them by being a plankton yourself, wearing these glasses. There are also 4 more projects that go along with this process. So, including the giant octopus, which is an Octopus cyanea. Am I saying that right? Do you have any idea? Which is the Octopus cyanea, and it will be up near the carousel. You can have your picture taken with a marine protected animal. There is also the podcast, which kids are interviewing scientists like Jules about different issues addressing climate change. And there is also the glamour shots, which are all of the folks who are coming in and having their pictures taken with these sculptures. I'll grab one real quick. That I made out of felt, which are marine protected animals as well. This is a smaller version of the octopus. And then we have the wrestling match, which is the wrestling match, which is on February 16th from 2:30 to 4:30, right here at Seaport Village, over in the Lighthouse District. It's down that road. It's over behind that building. That's right. Okay. And so all those things are important to me because I wanted to diversify the storytelling so that it's accessible. The stories is accessible in more than one way for all different ages and in all different kinds of interest groups, because this issue of climate change is something that affects all of us. So I wanted to find as many ways as I could as an artist to talk about it and help other people talk about it. And with that said, I will introduce our scientist, Jules Jaffe, who has a great contribution to this project and inspiration.
So what we're showing here are some three-dimensional movies. You can see stereo of all kinds of different marine creatures that are plankton, and I get to go all over the world, and we capture these animals, we bring them in the lab, we invented our own microscope to take stereo pictures, and it's really a immersive experience where you can learn how these crazy animals behave, because they're almost like aliens, but not quite, because they live the same planet as us.
Awesome. Great. I also am about to finish my tea, so then when I finish my tea, we can do the tea leaf
You
reading.
read the tea leaves?
Yes.
You've
got a lot of tea. Leave your leaves in there.
Yeah, my tea leaves
There's a process.
say I drank too much tea.
So the trick is first we dump out whatever excess we have, and then we'll so I'll finish it.
Okay.
Without trying to eat the tea leaves.
Yeah, I got a lot.
And
It's
then
a
we-
swamp, actually.
We dump it out, and then, but without losing the tea leaves, and then we flip the bowl,
Oh my gosh.
and then the bowl.
Oh.
I now have to do a combination. Most of it, my tea leaves are reading. It looks like I've got 3 here and 2 in here. Oh, it's pretty equal. I equally have to think, act, and connect with everybody. But more, I think I see it in connecting. So I'm happy to be connecting with you guys today.
Thank you. We are we feel
Let's
the
do this
same
one.
way.
And then we'll dump out. We'll just go ahead and flip it, and then oops, I hope I didn't do it wrong this time. But
you
we'll
know
see.
because I had too much tea.
Oh, you had too much. You had to dump it out. Well, you
That's
still
right.
have
Look.
yours is equal as well. Oh wait, you have a little bit extra in thinking, I think.
Oh,
So
appropriate.
whatever you're thinking about, think about it some more.
Is it kind of like a fortune teller?
I guess do you
Yeah.
want to take your final sip?
It's
Uh,
mostly
Mostly leaves. I'll dump it out.
And it should be noted that Jessica designed and made all of this.
I did. I handmade
Okay.
all of these pots, and I painted them all. And I'm really.
Oh, you're gonna.
This is gonna be a lot. So I'm gonna
Whoa.
dump out the excess tea.
Oh gosh, Jules, that's a lot.
and then I'm gonna let it sit, and then I'm gonna go ahead and turn it. Jules, actually what I meant to do first was ask, what is something that's really stressing you about climate change?
Well, the oceans are warming,
Mm-hmm.
and we don't know what the effects of that are going to be. The other thing is sea level is rising. And so we're seeing places like Miami, where at high tide, you have to put a pair of boots on to walk around in certain areas of Miami Beach. We worry about small islands in the Pacific that are particularly susceptible to sea level rise, and
So right now you're thinking a lot about sea level rise, and so some things that we could do to fight sea level rising would be
cut carbon emissions.
cutting your carbon
which,
emissions.
you know, we have these monumental ice caps, Greenland, Antarctica, and as they warm and melt, you know, an ice cube floats, but when it melts, it turns into water, and then the water rises.
Right, so we need to cut our carbon emissions. That's the biggest thing that we can do through reducing our fossil fuel intake usage, and so we need to move more towards renewables. So thinking about how can we move thinking about the question of how can we move towards renewables more as the direction for the tea. The teacup is left you mostly in connecting. You have a little bit of everything, but mostly you're connecting and thinking is your next
That's
move.
pretty apt. Connecting and thinking is about what I do.
Yes, and a little bit of action in there. A little bit of
Yeah.
action.
Well, I drive an electric car and I have solar on my house, so that was my action, is to try to reduce my consumption of fossil fuels.
Right, and technically connecting is an action.
There you go.
Yeah.
But those are so this is a fun way to like push people towards having a conversation that is productive towards and talking about climate change. That's the it's a little tea break.
Yeah. And I think the goal at the end of this week-long production, which is coming up, if we inspire a call to action and kind of summarize by one of Jessica's installations of the giant inflatables, but it's called Tiny Made Mighty, right? And I feel like that is representative not only of the scale of that inflatable versus the species itself, but also the messaging of ocean optimism altogether, which is that even very small changes in your lifestyle can have a mighty impact, and that's actually where we all need to believe in ourselves and help spread the word. And if we can help inspire other cities and regions and municipalities to take on similar type of programs to help equally engage the youth of our cities as well as the experts, and mind the gap of that kind of communication style from being the scientific lingo to something that can register and make sense for